Hello and welcome to another update video on Bitcoin. We are covering here the daily time frame at the moment. And yeah, just a quick reminder that on this chart, the market has not really changed direction in any significant way. We're still moving up towards 130K. There has been a little bit of up and down movement. The bulls and the bears are fighting around this 110K level right now. So it seems like we're holding at the moment above 100K. So that was obviously a thing, fighting around 100K for quite some time. Now it's the fight for 110K, it seems. Basically, around about $110,000 is the level that needs to hold to really keep the upside momentum, you could say, intact, or at least confirm basically the decisive breakout above the upper boundary line of the trend channel, because few days ago, the price broke above, held a day above the line, and now we're breaking back below. That, however, is not necessarily unexpected given the microstructures that we're tracking, where we were watching for a wave 2, and this seems to be unfolding. So I'm going to share that with you in a minute. But overall, bigger picture-wise, the rally to 130K is still very much on the radar. That's on the agenda. That's still the view. And that can happen in basically two ways. So someone asked me earlier today if the blue scenario is off the table. No, it's still on the chart. In the blue count, and let's talk about the short-term bearish count first. In the blue count, the move down here from the 22nd of May high was an A wave, was a B wave bounce, and now a C wave to the downside could unfold and take us into this support zone between 81,355 and 95,887. I don't necessarily expect that the price reaches really 81K, but obviously this is an area that is in the focus, this entire support zone. But we can talk about that a little bit more. Should we really get closer, and should we really enter that larger degree support area? This is simply a standard support zone measured based on the length of the A wave to the upside, which topped here in May. And then we can say that in the short-term bearish count, this B wave might still be unfolding. And we know where, technically speaking, B waves should normally form a low, and that would be in this area. Normally then, if we then, talk about probabilities, it would be somewhere in the middle, around the 61.8 fib level or the 50% fib level. I also mentioned that, look, we also have the 365-day moving average coming up here. That's the yellow trend line, or not the trend line, but the yellow line, basically a dynamic support level, which could protect the price as it goes higher, or save the price from breaking the support area. It's just additional, you could say, dynamic support in this Fibonacci support zone. Just a quick reminder that it takes a break below 81,355 to really make me confirm that a substantial top has formed and that we are actually in a bear market. Okay, that's not at the moment the idea. Idea is still that we could go a little bit higher. Idea is that all pullbacks are at the moment corrective. We're dealing with overlapping price action to the downside, and that typically is a good indication that these are corrective pullbacks, which means they set the stage for eventually higher prices after or as soon as the corrective pullback is done. Now, important also to understand that, of course, a more directly bullish scenario is possible. I just took you through the blue scenario, and the blue scenario is the scenario in which we could visit the support area again. But in a more directly bullish count, here in the white scenario, we might have already bottomed in this B wave here on the 22nd of June. That is a reasonable assumption, given that the rally from that low appears to be a 5-wave advance. So we have a 5-wave move up in white wave 1, and we had a corrective pullback. And maybe now another 1-2 setup. So the market could grind higher more directly, but as I shared with you, there is a clear invalidation point which hasn't been reached yet, hasn't broken yet, and therefore the overall thesis still remains relevant, especially as long as we're holding this swing low from the 22nd of June. If we break below it, it wouldn't make me bearish, but obviously would mean that certainly short term the bears are leading. But honestly, the focus at the moment is on whether the bulls can defend the upper red line here, the 105,230 level. Now that is important to keep the idea alive that white wave 2 bottomed and that we are in a very, very direct move to the upside. But the daily chart gives us a nice overview and everything, but we get better indications and better, let's say, clearer levels and everything. Yeah, clearer levels. We get clearer levels on the smaller time frames. So I would say, let us take a look at the smaller time frames for some more clarity now. Thanks so much for watching the videos on this YouTube channel. If you've been thinking about joining MCO as a member, now might be a great time. You can use the link in the video description and apply the discount code right below it. You will get 50% off your first month of our gold membership, and you can explore everything we offer. It's the easiest way to test the membership, see if it's a good fit for you, and get a feel for the community, join the conversation, and I'm looking forward to meeting you in our member area. So on the smaller time frame, again, what can I say? We have a 5-wave move up in 2 scenarios. So the white scenario I just shared with you on the larger time frame, you just see it here in detail, is a wave 1, a wave 2, a wave 3, a wave 4, and a wave 5. Sorry, that's the yellow count. Let's start with that. That's the yellow count. In this scenario, we have a 5-wave move up completed, and it is just a deeper wave 2 pullback, right? So in this scenario, if the upper red line that I showed you on the larger time frame is broken to the downside, this would be the scenario to track next. Basically, the next best bullish scenario. A larger correction. But a 5-wave move up indicates still that we can watch for a corrective pullback, even if the very directly bullish 1-2-1-2 setup gets invalidated. But yeah, this would be plan B. The directly bullish count is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in white wave 1. We already saw wave 2, and this is another 1-2 setup. And I'm just waiting to see if from this upper support area, Fibonacci support, between 106,290 and 108,480, we see a substantial reaction, which could then indicate that circle wave 2 is complete. I gotta say, while we have some green candles here, there is not yet enough evidence to really say that we are in a breakout. I would need to see next a break back above the yellow line. That is the upper boundary line of our trend channel, followed by a break above this last swing high there from the 4th of July at around 109,150. So for now, just waiting for further evidence that maybe even a low has formed. This would be the place to do it in this zone. You see the buyers are interested. I mean, that's the point of showing you these areas of interest, because these are areas where typically buyers would be interested and they are stepping in. Question is, can they really move something in a meaningful way over a weekend? But overall, parameters stay unchanged, so I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, I invite you to join us on X for additional updates, additional coins that we're not covering on YouTube. I am linking it in the channel description, and you can also find it linked in the comments. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.